What's up, everybody, and what's up to all my Red Zone loyalists, man? We got a coming to you with a heavy heart, man, on this Big Cloud shout out Saturday night, man. We got some things going on, and we got some family members, some people that need some help, man, and we're just we got something we need to talk about, and it's pretty serious. So it's a serious Big Cloud shout out Saturday night, man. I'm having a hard time even really talking about it, man. So Chase, why don't you take it away, man, and let the people know what's going on, man. Tell them what we're here for.
All right, man. Listen up, everybody, man. This is one of those heartfelt moments, and I want to give a big shout out to Mama Jenny. You know, some things that went down in Florida. You know, and it's really hard. I'm really heartbroken, man, about the situation. You know, she's a real good woman, and she's the CEO of a nonprofit called Loop. And every month she's sending about 266 inmates receive mail from her. You know, they get birthday cards and Thanksgiving cards and Christmas cards. She do things for the kids at the Angel Free program. I mean, guys, it's really, this woman is an angel sent from God. Really an angel sent from God. You know, she gives money, cards to people that comes and visits, and even gives rides to inmates, visitors, because they don't have a ride. I mean, what woman you know do things, do things like that? I feel like this is the time for us to give. If you haven't given anything back, what this is the last week or month or year, I just hope that you guys give this woman very, very good hope in our world today, is because he has done so much. I mean, literally so much for others and been so selfless that I feel like it's only right that we give back to her. Lo told me that, she lived in Ohio or whatnot like that. Matter of fact, Lo, you said she lived in Ohio, why is she still staying there, or did she move? Or,
so she, when she was in Ohio, she, our whole family's lived in Ohio. We've lived in Reynoldsburg, Ohio our whole lives, and we had a nice little plot of land between Main Street and Broad Street, and she bought that land. That was always an investment. That was always her little nest egg she had, and eventually somebody had came and made her an offer that she couldn't refuse, and I would always tease her about selling my backyard, because that was growing up, that was where I, ran around, had four-wheelers, I took anytime I'd get a new truck, four-wheel drive, I'd always take it in the back and go tear shit up, but she ended up selling it, and it was always her dream to go somewhere. She wanted to live somewhere where she could put her toes in the sand. So anytime we'd go on vacation, when I was a kid, we used to go to Cancun, we used to go to Florida, we'd go, anywhere it was hot and beautiful, snorkeling. My grandfather scuba dived. He was in the Navy, so loved the water. And so they went from Ohio to Fort Myers, Florida, and they lived right on the banks of the Chattahoochee River and North Fort Myers. And so, but while she was up here, they came and visited me at CRC, and CRC is notorious for the way that they would just disrespect people and send them away and not let them come in, and say that their pants were too tight. And so she went to the thrift store and she bought a box of sweaters and a box of sweats, and she would go to CRC 3 days a week, and she would sit there and she would wait for people to get turned around.
Oh, wow.
And she would give them sweaters and sweats.
Let it out, man. Let it out. You understand?
So that they didn't have to go 40 minutes to the nearest 40 minutes to the nearest store to buy a sweater. Because some people didn't have the gas money. They couldn't even make it. And she made sure that they could come in, make sure they had cards, make sure they had money, so that they could, buy a pop and a candy bar for their visitor.
Yeah,
And yeah, Hurricane Ian, that was a Category 5. There was a Category 5 hurricane, winds up to 150 miles an hour. And praise be to God. I mean, she survived. Obviously, she's fine. Her and Dad are fine, but I mean, they lost everything. And
wow,
to have somebody like that who gives so much, tried to rebuild their life. I mean, she's rebuilt her life a bunch of times. They've been through their houses burned down when they were young. Like when Mom was a kid, they had their house burned down. Like she just lost so much. That woman's my whole world. And I remember like being on the phone with her, and we tried to call, and the phone wasn't ringing. It was just going straight to voicemail. And that was just like a real reality check. Like, because I've been there. I've had people in my life when they can't answer the phone anymore. Not that they won't or they're mad or they can't. And the idea of her not being able to answer the phone, like, that was just a lot. They're going through a lot. But she's safe, she's fine, thank God. But she lost everything, and so I can't do anything for her. Except
And so
this
you're
video.
doing something,
This
and so
video is
you're
all I can
doing,
do.
and so you're doing something now. One, by doing the video and telling everyone about her, but then, you know, I'm obviously always been a strong believer you treat people the way that you want to be treated, and especially when you have people that do so many things for so many people, it's like necessary when they need some, because they're doing so much for so many other people that they're never really asking for anything. She doesn't ask for anything. She never asked for
Never,
anything in
not one time have
return.
I ever heard that woman
Like,
ask for anything.
she never asked for anything in return. So that goes to show you that she's doing all of these things just literally out the kindness of her heart.
You
Like,
have 1 minute remaining.
and so when you have
So
people
we're going to
that
call
do,
back, and when we call back, we're going to talk about how you guys can help. So we've gone out of our way to set up a page, and we have a place where you guys can donate. And we're going to call back, and when we call back, Chase is going to go ahead and give you the information that you need if you guys decide that you want to help out. Do something nice for somebody who's done everything nice that you can possibly do for everybody else her entire life. So we'll be
and
right
she's
back.
not
Thanks for
even
listening.
asking
We
for
appreciate it.
anything.
Thank you for
Ladies
using
and gentlemen,
GTL.
We'll be right back, and we'll continue this after the break.
Thank you.
What's up, everybody? We're back. So we're talking about how we can help out somebody in the fam who's helped out, done nothing but help out people her entire life. So it's about that time. Get your checkbooks out, get your credit cards ready. Jojo, tell them where they need to go if they want to help out, man. Do the right thing.
All right, listen, everybody. I want to give you this information because I really want you to help out this nice, the most heaven-sent woman I've ever met and heard of. The website is called GiveSendGo.com. Bob and Jenny Eversole, Hurricane Relief. Once you can go to the website, that's GiveSendGo.com. It's the arrow on the right upper right corner, and scroll down and say, Bob and Jenny Eversole, and then Hurricane Relief, Hurricane Relief, and y'all just help them out because
It's B-O-B and Jenny, Jenny, Eversole, Eversole, Hurricane Relief. Go, and anything that you get, no donation is too small, and certainly no donation is too big. So when I was talking to, obviously she has no idea that we're doing this because she would be absolutely mortified, but I didn't feel like I had a choice because I had to do something. And what really pushed it over the edge for me was I asked her, I'm like, so, obviously, insurance and everything, but the premiums are still expensive, but, these things can be replaced. But I'm like, are you okay? Is everything good? And she's like, yeah, I'm just really upset about my luggage. And I'm like, your luggage? Like, what are you, Mom? Like, your car windows are busted out. The engine's completely totaled. Your boat is upside down. You've got 3 inches of mud on the first floor of your house, and you're like mad about luggage. Like, I don't understand. And she's like, well, our Vietnam trip is coming up. And so her biggest upset was that she was concerned that she wasn't going to have any way for her to carry her clothes on her trip to Vietnam, where she goes once a year, and her and Bob donate their time and they build wheelchairs for the Vietnamese, the less fortunate Vietnamese who are unfortunately have fallen victims to the Agent Orange that was dropped during the Vietnam War. And so these are people that are crippled, disformed, disfigured, amputees, and they can't walk. Some of them have to crawl miles there and back just to go to the store, and they carry the groceries in bags in their mouth, and they crawl from one way to the other. And Jenny goes over there, and they were so fortunate to come across a doctor who was able to design a way to take a lawn chair and two 10-speed bike tires, and he manufactured a frame and patented it. And they take two 10-speed tires, a lawn chair, and this frame. They reinforce the chair, and they give these people these wheelchairs, because to ship the wheelchair, just for the sake of so you understand what's happening, that to ship a fully put together wheelchair, it would cost $100. But to ship the parts, it costs about $30. So they ship the parts individually over there, wheels, chairs, frames, and then when they get over there, they put it all together and give the chairs away for free of charge. And so the biggest thing that she was upset about when her entire life was destroyed was the fact that she was concerned that she wasn't going to be able to have bags to take with her, because she's going on the trip regardless. If she has to go over there with a book bag, she's going to go to Walmart, buy a $20 book bag, put some clothes in it, and go to Vietnam. Like, that's happening. Like, she's not. I tried to talk her out of it. I'm like, Mom, you can't, I come home in 14 months. Like, will you please just sit still? Like, please. Like, we've gotten this far. We made it this much. Like, just sit still. She's like, hey, that's not. You might as well be talking to a wall, because I'm going to Vietnam. Like, that's the same way I stayed and survived a Category 5 hurricane. Like, I'm going to Vietnam. So I'm sure that, we're going to be buying her new luggage with some of this money. But regardless, we need to make sure that she's got something to put her clothes in when she goes over to donate her time to Vietnam. Portia, what do you,
you got the information?
you know about Mama Jen?
Well, I met her because I also had a nonprofit organization that we were trying to, it was in the process of getting off of I guess, like on its way. And so I met her that way, and she just became a huge, like, support and resource, because she was helping us to network with people. She was giving us, educating us on things. Just, she's always kind of there if you need to talk. Like, she would have me go to the loop meetings, and she would have me talk at the loop meetings. And it was always really nice to go to the loop meetings, because that everybody felt extremely comfortable. But not only did you know that they felt extremely comfortable talking, because she made it a open discussion, open environment that was comfortable. It was the fact of, that she has literally talked to each and every single one of these people personally on a private level, where that she's spoken to them outside of the meeting. And so
Like a mom.
with that
She's
being said, like,
everybody's mom.
exactly, with that being said, like, that she is also putting a lot of the weight of other people on her, because she's supporting all of these other people that, have family members, have loved ones, and they're needing things. They don't know how to navigate certain things. They're calling her, asking her questions, you know, all of those things. Like, you can't discount like we talk about all of the big things that she does because she does a lot of big things, sending the cards, giving money, the money cards, like all of those things, but you like really can't discount and discredit the little things that she does too, because those things make a
Right.
humongous difference in people's lives too. The fact that people
She
have
touches so many
somebody
lives.
to like talk to
Yeah.
that is in the same like the same place that she's in, that can relate, that she can like talk to. They don't have anybody else to talk to, they don't have anybody else that understands. They're, for all we know, there are some like their whole family might have like disowned them, and they don't have anybody, and they know that you can tell they know that they have her to talk to, because when you're in the meetings, it's a
Right.
very open, comfortable conversation, and people cry and people are very vulnerable, and it's because they have talked to her personally. But she also makes it known that if anybody needs to talk to her, she has no problem giving people her phone number to contact her and talk to her if they
Right.
need to talk to her. Like, that's never, and that's why I say, like,
Wow.
she does all of these things, but she never asked for anything in return. So she would donate to
Right.
positive transitioning every month faithfully. Every single month faithfully, she would donate to positive transitioning.
You
Ever ask
have
for anything?
1 minute remaining.
Ever ask for anything back in return? Never. She introduced us to people, networked us with people. Did she ever ask for anything in return? Never. Even after positive
Nope.
transitioning was over, and we weren't we dissolved positive transitioning, she took me out to
Right.
lunch. Did she ever ask for anything in return? No. And why did she do that?
Nope.
Because at that point, positive transitioning was over, so she didn't have to continue to talk to me, but she was concerned about me, and she cared about how I was doing, and she wanted to do something to make me feel better, because there's no other reason that you would do that.
Like a mom. Right.
And so even after that, it was over, she was still
You
there.
have 1
So,
minute remaining.
like I said, that when someone does so many things for other people out of like literally
Thank
the
you for using GTL.
kindness of their heart, because they're not asking for anything in return. They're not, expecting anything in return. Then you know that when they need something, it's necessary to help them, because it's wrong to not.
Exactly.
You want
Hey,
to
guys.
put us to break?
Yeah, guys. We'll be right back as soon as possible. Take a short break and we'll continue.
Thank you for using GTL.